Welcome back to another first impressions, this time for the anime Hotel Inhumans. Another from any list. The best hotels must meet certain standards, including the finest cuisines, ways to relax and entertainment. Of course, they also need the best selection of weapons, reliable ways to falsify one's identity, and ways to dispose of evidence. In this hotel at the border of death stand two concierges, Hikuro Hoshi and Sara Haizaki. What kinds of requests will the assassins have for them next? Now, I watched the first 3 episodes and I am quite surprised. I enjoyed it quite a bit more than I had assumed. Now, the whole point is that we have this hotel, a normal hotel, with these two concierges, Ikuru and Sarah. Ikuru is the brown-haired boy, Sarah is the blonde girl, and their guests are mostly, I assume, mostly like assassins, people that murder or do illegal stuff, and one part of the hotel is to offer stuff like best selection of weapons, reliable ways to falsify identity, part of like a lot of services they can offer. Now, this is like one part of the story. The second part is, or the primary part is that we get to, we more or less see an assassin. First episode as example, we see an assassin, something is going on, for some reason they go to this hotel and they have a request. Not only to, stay in the hotel, they have a specific request. The whole point is that these concierges, they cannot say no. Or they are not allowed to. Whatever the case, they don't say no. So they fulfill that request, whatever it may be. And this is how the story seems to unfold. We have like in the 3 episodes, we have like one part where we follow someone who seems to be an assassin. I don't know if there are other legal jobs we will go follow later on, but we follow the assassin, maybe doing their job, maybe not, and for some reason they go to the hotel and they have like a request, and then the two, Ikuro and Sarah, jump into action and fulfill that request. Now they do have a little bit of a role. Each of them, Ikuro is mostly for like documents and research. He seems to be like the smart guy. He seems to be good at not only documents research, but seemingly manipulating evidence. And then we have Sarah, who seems to be more the hands-on person, protecting stuff, protecting Ikuro as example, keeping everyone in check. Now, I personally like Sarah a lot. Ikuru, he always is like, I want to quit this job. He doesn't really like murderers, seemingly. So, okay. I mean, the idea of the whole concept that I just explained is interesting. Now, we do not get too much of, like background story at the moment. 3 episodes, again. We don't really know much about Sarah, we don't know much about Ikaro, we don't really know much about the assassins that get presented. Now, I would like to spend a little bit more time on those. These stories would be a lot better in my opinion. However, I'm a very empathetic person. You can bring me to emotion quite quickly. And this show does it really well, which is to my dismay because I do not like to be emotional, at least not in this way. And I enjoyed it quite a bit. I don't know, the graphics or the animation is not that great. The style, I like the style. The style is pretty nice, especially Sarah. She has like this, she has a specific look that is very focused, devoid of emotion seemingly, and very sharp. I do like her a lot. And we do see, all the people get into action, assassins and also the concierges. And again, the idea seems pretty solid. We will see how they try to use it later on. I'm assuming we're going to find out some more stuff about Sarah, some more about Ikaro. But the 3 episodes I saw, they were pretty enjoyable. Now, if you like a lot of action, this is not the show for you. If you like big overarching stories, this does not seem to be the same. It seems very focused, at least the assassins seem very focused. You start the story, you get to the end of the story, there doesn't seem to be a link between the quote-unquote cases in the show. Now, that doesn't mean that we cannot get an overarching story. Again, Sarah and Ikaro, both of them we don't have any background on. There could be something overarching going. Who is responsible for the hotel? These two are pretty young. There has to be an owner. So what about the other people that should work in this hotel, unless these two can do all the work? So there's still some stuff we can uncover, and that could lead into some interesting mystery elements. However, at the moment, it seems very cut and dry. Like, we have a case of an assassin comes into the hotel for some reason. We have a request, we fulfill request, done. Story part done. At the moment, we will see. Maybe there is something overarching that is going to connect those. Similar to like Apothecary Diaries, where you had the assumption each part would be a solved story. But then later you saw, oh, they all converge into one big mystery. But we will have to see. Now, Analyst gave it a 62%. My anime list, 6.51. I would say a strong 7 out of 10. A strong 7 out of 10. I could even see it as an 8. However, there are so many shows, it is hard to be like, oh, I recommend every show. And it's only the first 3 episodes. If we get something a little bit overarching, we get a little bit different assassin stories and requests, I can see it go up. At the moment, it is solid. It is a solid show in my opinion. Again, if you like a lot of action and some overarching story part or a lot of mystery, not gonna be that. However, what we got presented, it did resonate with me quite a bit. I'm optimistically looking forward to the next couple episodes.